well, just to be on. All right, so I don't know why your voice is breaking.
It's breaking.
Yeah, so there's a delay. So maybe because people are joining in and there is a beep going on, that's why probably. Um, okay, so we have 17 people joining in. So thank you everyone for joining in today's session. We're very excited. We have Raphael joining in. Raphael, thank you for sparing time. Raphael is also a dear friend, a technology guru, as I always call him, joining in from very close to where I live. Carlos joining in also. Carlos, welcome. So those who I know, you already we are familiar with each other, but those who I don't know, you can keep adding in the comment where you joining in from. In the process of today's session, we will open up for networking as well. So we will provide you an opportunity to network amongst each other. We'll divide you some in depending on how many people we have in the session. We'll divide you. I think probably 4 to 5 group of 4 to 5 in breakout session. Hey, Pretty joining in as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that will be an
And it
opportunity
will be an
for,
open.
so I'm hearing my voice back. Opportunity for all of us to network and know each other. We already have 23 people joining in. Sanoj joining in from Mississauga, not too far from where I am, about an hour's drive. But keep adding where are you joining in from, because that will help us understand how far this whole event is reaching. I can see it's going uh, on the other side of Canada, which is Vancouver. It's going to in the east. It's going up to Islamabad and Dubai, and also through Roshana to India as well. Jamal is joining from Lahore. Awesome. Imran is joining from Saudi Arabia, so it's going as far as Saudi Arabia as well. This is the footprint we have uh, with this great initiative that we have started. So thank you very much. I think it's time that we should start the session formally. My name is Hamas Siddiqui. I am the co-founder with Amina and the executive director for Canada Startup Association. This is our final event for 2023. So very excited about 2024. And the reason for this event is, of course, to learn from you what are you planning in the next year, and how you can also make some what I call informed decisions based on what is happening around the globe. So without any further ado, I would invite Tamina Chaudhary, our president and an amazing entrepreneur herself, to formally welcome everyone and to kickstart the session. Tamina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Amar. I'm audible properly because previously you were not able to hear me. It's all right
Tamina,
now.
your voice, I think, is bouncing. Maybe if you do you have a microphone?
Do
Like
you
a
want me to? Okay,
microphone?
let me just go
Yeah, this is
out and come back.
go out and come back. I think that's the best thing to do. All right, so this is technology. Sometimes we just struggle with technology a little bit. I was hearing her voice back, and she was unable to speak. So what are we going to do today is we have a short presentation for you in which we will share with you what is happening around the globe and how do we fit into this a pretty, I would say, complex scheme of things where we have certain challenges and uh, some interesting challenges as well. So Tamina.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can. Go ahead.
So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Hamad said, this is our last event and second event for 2023. So I'm the founder and president of Canada Startup Association. So you will learn more about what we are doing and why we have started Canada Startup Association. But this I just want to share a little bit about like what is Canada Startup Association and who I am. So I'm an entrepreneur since last 20 years. I am a newcomer and immigrant to Canada also. And that is one of the main reason of starting Canada Startup Association because the challenges and hurdles that I have been facing and gone through. So we've created this space, a safe space in the community for all other entrepreneurs like us who are immigrant or newcomer to Canada or who want to come here through startup visa or the people who would like to, who are the aspiring entrepreneurs. So this is all for now. Over to you, Hamad, again, and let's start it formally.
Thank you very much. A warm welcome to everyone again, and those who are already who I have already met. So a warmer welcome to them, and to even warmer welcome to all those who I don't really know, because this is an opportunity for us to network, connect, and grow together. So again, my name is Ammar Siddiqui. I'm a co-founder at Canada Startup Association with Tamina. And as I said, we will have this little presentation that I've prepared for you, and then we will start with the Q&A. But just before we start our Q&A, we will have a little breakout session in which we will provide you an opportunity to network and get to know each other, because this is the opportunity. Our network is our network. This is what I will say. And one of the things that, in fact, when we started Canada Startup Association, conceptually, there were two things that we had in our mind. One is peer-to-peer learning, and second is networking. For a start-up founder or an entrepreneur, if you provide these two things, peer-to-peer learning and networking, they will find their way. That's a fact. This is how I grew. This is, I think, most of the entrepreneurs that are in that space grow, and they try to take the advantage of being together. So just the feeling of togetherness in today's session. Again, we are registered as a non-profit organization. Again, typo here. Um, a non-profit membership organization, and our aim is to support new startups, particularly immigrant startups coming to Canada, with peer-to-peer learning and networking opportunities. We are also a member of Toronto Region Board of Trade, which is the one of the most powerful trade body in the Greater Toronto area. In their collaboration, we organized our first major event on 15th of November, and will slightly briefly share about that event during the process. So startup landscape and business outlook for 2024 is important for everyone who is trying to either scale up or diversify into new opportunities, or trying to kind of make new investments in new ventures. The backdrop is very simple. In the last World Economic Forum event, they did a research, and that's always an amazing event at the beginning of every year. And they spoke to some of the largest corporations around the globe. And one common theme that came out of that event was that the corporation said that most of their revenue will come from businesses and technology which had not been created at that point in time. And that's kind of an interesting backdrop for all of us, for smaller entrepreneurs, for larger entrepreneurs, for technology, people working in technology, and people who are in disruptive technology particularly. So the backdrop going forward is we are seeing a slower global economy. So the global GDP has been revised by IMF. There is a fear of recession still. Some people are talking about recession, near recession, how far that recession will go, what will be the shape of that recession. So we'll talk about that. Emergence of AI has changed everything completely. We had AI before as well, but things have changed drastically over the past 1 year. A lot of new ideas around AI have emerged. There are some challenges for people who are working in that AI space, particularly the regulatory reforms that are coming out in the AI space. We need to really be aware of it because a lot of technology startups are working in that space. Women in business. Myself, I have been a big advocate for women in business. I worked in 12 countries, and most of that work that I did was in the space of helping Women Chamber of Commerce grow in those countries. So women in business are a subject very close to my heart. We'll talk about that. Uh, then we will talk about immigrant startups and some of the challenges they face and our learnings. Um, there's someone in the waiting room, please. Yeah, thank you. We will talk about that. And Tamina, of course, as an expert in that space, she will present a few things. We'll talk about opportunity corridors for startups. It's not that, when the economy is bad, when the recession is very near, often people stop doing things. But there are always opportunities in the marketplace. So we will talk about those opportunities too. We will also talk about, from a very Canadian perspective, news from Canadian corporate leaders, what they are talking and how they are seeing things happening in the Canadian perspective. And CSA Connect, which was our premier event, happened in collaboration with the Toronto Region Board of Trade on 15th of November. We have recommendations from our experts, panel experts, and this is the first time we are sharing those recommendations, by the way. So you are kind of the first recipient of those recommendations. We haven't submitted those recommendations to the ministry as well. So which we will do in shape of a report mid of January, because it's already December, half December, and minister is busy, and most of this part of the world is going to be on holidays come next week. So this is and I promise I'm not going to bore you with numbers. You can take those numbers. We can even share this presentation with you. But this is the foundation for our discussion. We really need to be aware of what is happening around the globe. We can only make decisions based on those numbers. So global economy, what we are seeing is 2024 has a projection of almost what we had in 2023. This is a revision from 2022. We were just recovering, if you remember, from COVID in 2022, but the impact came a little later. Expected growth will still be 3%. Advanced economies, if you see advanced economies, the number is actually um, pretty depressing, I would say. 2022, it was 2.7, and 2024, the forecast is 1.4%. So you need to really be a little aware of that number, and there's a reason for that. The interest rates are high, so cost of borrowing is high, and um, uh, advanced economies are pretty leveraged economies. That's one of the things that we have to watch. Emerging economies and developing economies, the number is a little better. But if you see, it's not like, really very astonishingly better. It's just 1% better than 2022 and 2023. So as an economist, the way I see it, and I can argue looking at just this number, is that almost there was a stagnation in emerging market and developing economies. We see a little bit of improvement, a little bit of an improvement in that space. And this number came from IMF. Export Development Canada shared this information, and they are talking about global economy again. 2.7, as you saw, they're looking at 2.7 global economy, which is 0.2% less. Slowing labor market and debt burden. Canadian debt burden is increasing, and it will increase. So the job market has already started showing the impact with companies reducing their workforce. And this was one of the things that we discussed at the CSA Connect event as well. But again, interestingly, when there are more people out there, technology savvy experts, you find that labor a little bit cheaper, which is a good sign for a startup. In the US as well, if you see the economic growth, again, it's going to be a slow economic growth. And as we all say, if US sneezes, the rest of the world has flu as well. So we will see what's happening. Interestingly, last 1 week for the stock market has been very good. Dow Jones has crossed 37,000 point yesterday. So and this was a debate going on in the economy with the interest rates high, why stock is performing good. So this must be something good happening somewhere. Europe is struggling, and if you were following news from the UK, there's a big hue and cry there because of their economic slowdown, and we'll see this happening in Europe too. Some major banks expect the growth to ease down a little bit further, and energy prices also looking a little higher. Depending on what happens with the war-torn areas, we will see how the commodity prices are going to react. Fuel prices went down a little bit last week, but a little bit up this week. It's a little bit complex, a lot of economic numbers, but all these numbers impact businesses, regardless of where you are based and how big or small your numbers may be. So the economic forecast with 2.6, 2.7, this is Reuters number, which is very close to the EDC's number. And a recession or near recession or mild recession is something that people are talking about. But what do we do in recession? Do we close down the business, or we try to look at further opportunities? That's a decision a founder has to take. Often founders take risks. So when there's a recession, there are more opportunities the way I look at it. Uh, US recession, 50%, I think, to me, of course, this is a number which is quoted by Deutsche Bank. I'm not an expert of that quality, which would say anything about it. But again, US probably is not going to buy that, and they are looking at almost freezing, in fact, talking about reducing the interest rate, which will boost the economy. McKinsey and Company, September 2023, they said a view on global growth is still lean positive. I mean, you can read between the lines here, but are more divided than last quarter. While the domestic outlook has become more hopeful in North America, views from Europe are more pessimistic. A very important thing to focus at. This is Theresa Hager, head of US Venture Capital. She actually spoke about the venture capital market, which is going under massive correction. And one of the reasons is that because venture capitalists, when they go in the market to raise fund, their funds either are dried down or their investments have been depleted because of the challenges that are out there. And the investors that are entering in the market are also very, very reluctant. And I would actually use the word more cautious in investing. The last line is very important. We expect AI will continue to serve as a major market catalyst, supporting new investment and fund commitment. This is one line that I would take as the most positive sign. So what we are going to see, and this is something which is coming in the presentation as well, an opportunity area where we are working on the cross-section of AI and machine learning. This is also valuation from Europe. Startup funding in Europe slumped. Unicorns valuation have gone down, which had to be like that. The correction comes in the market when the valuations were, I think they were like overvalued by many X in Europe as well in the US. 36 round backed 100 million more for European startups in 23. And we are looking at a bit of cooling down there as well. Continuous slowdown in investment And this is all the reflection of what we have just spoken about in the startup ecosystem. This is really very, very important to understand. If we are working in the AI space, which I think we have to somehow on the cross section of AI, EU is drafting a regulatory framework. You should keep an eye on that. Please, if you are in that space or if you are in the cross section of AI somehow, because that legislation may impact your business. So keep an eye there, as well as US. So US is not really um, bringing in a new legislation as such overall, but there is some movement there. Some of the states are implementing their local legislations. They have created in the US Artificial Intelligence Safety Institute. They are known to do that. These institutes are usually backed by the state government, a state department, and they get the funding from the private sector as well as from the State Department to study what's happening, and then they recommend changes. So keep an eye, and of course the focus will be civil rights, public health, housing policy, and national defense. So these are a couple of things you need to keep in mind when you are in this space, or you're working with either you're looking at acquisition or investment or your own new venture in the space of AI. Now, women in business, as I said, a subject very close to my heart. Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, GEM. Uh, I picked it up from GEM. 80 women for every man. If you see, they want to be, if we could bring in more women into solopreneurship or entrepreneurship in the startup space, then things will change. Uh, we are looking at some things happening around that, but that's an opportunity space. And one of our participants in the CSA Connect um, heads initiative, Carlos, um, the initiative in which they're working in 5 countries, helping women businesses grow. So the intention in this space is high. If we are working in that space, then of course we are looking at some great opportunities coming our way. Latin America and Caribbeans have got the highest one of the highest startup rate, and this very probably, if you are in that space or in impact investor space, that's the area where you should be you should consider looking at. Now I will hand over to Tamina for her couple of slides, 3 slides, I think, and then we will we will go back and discuss few more things related to the recommendations that we have gathered from various sources for those entrepreneurs and startups that are really futuristic. Tamina, over to you.
Thank you, Hamad. Just to start with, here the slide is telling you about, what CSA provides. We provide a thriving hub for immigrant startup. But just because what Hamad has been telling us, it was a little depressing. So I would like to share that again, a figure that, in Q3 2023, even though there is a slump in investment funding, but it's still like there was around $1.8 billion was the venture funding in only in Q3 in 134 deals. So this is a good news also. But I always say, we should see the glass half full. So even though there is a, recession, economic recession is there, people are not investing in startups, not investing, I would say, investing less in a startup, but still there's a lot of deals that are happening, especially in Canada. There was 1.8 billion has been invested in startups. And one more thing that is that, that is important to know that even though the overall funding has been less, but it's still the token amount, like, per ticket size has been increased. Like it was before like 2.3 million and it goes up to 3.6 million. So again, there is a good news for startups who are starting up or who are looking to raise funding in the next year. So now I come to this slide about CSA Canada Startup Association, that what we are providing. So what we are providing is we say that, we help startups thrive. And it is a tailored, we are providing you, just like I said before, a safe community, and we do the hand holding for the startups. And these are the some perks that we will be providing to our members. That one first is tailored mentorship program. So mentorship coaching is is a word that is very it's, I think, it's commonly used. But what we are providing is, it's a personalized mentoring from industry veterans, and we call it industry experts, and specifically for the Canadian business, and who have the expertise in the Canadian landscape. Then networking and community building. Definitely, you will have diverse networking opportunities to connect with peers, industry leaders, and obviously investor who are investing in the Canadian ecosystem. Access to funding and resources. Funding is very important, but at the same time, in-kind resources, guidance, and support before you get the funding is also very important. And we will be providing you that kind of resources and support. So we will be making you fundable. Like, your startup would be able to raise funding when it's the right time. Then another thing for any startup who is just starting up, or just at the beginning stage, or the entrepreneurs who are coming from outside Canada through startup visa program, or they are scaling up in this space, so they will definitely have no idea about legal and regulatory guidance. So we have amazing partners with us, and we will be providing you comprehensive assistance on legal compliance, taxation, business regulation, license requirement according to your startup. Then again, we are not only focusing on Canada. We have an amazing network of global leaders, entrepreneurs, and you will have access to this global network as well. You will have connections to our worldwide network of entrepreneurs, just like Hamas shared. He has already worked in 12 countries. I also have an amazing network in more than 50 countries. I have not worked there, but I have amazing connections. And then definitely another thing is why we have invited minister in our first event is to have the government resources. So there are, a lot of government resources available for startups, but just because you don't have the right connections, or you don't have the right guidance to access to it. So with Canada Startup Association, we will be providing you access to those government resources. We will definitely, that includes startup visa requirements, grants, and you know um, easy loans. With one of our partner, there is a arrangement with BDC that startup visa entrepreneurs who are coming here and who don't have any credit store, still they are, if they are eligible and they have a very good startup, they will be able to secure loans as well. And again, the most important thing, the right connections. Even it's mentorship, or you need vendors, you need customers, you need clients. So we will be helping you in lead generation as well. But could you please change the next slide? Yeah. So while I have shared what Canada Startup Association will be helping you in, but at the same time, what are the few challenges that we have seen? And we have so many entrepreneurs that we have already helped, and we have a good community of the people who are coming through startup visa. And I have been mentoring with a lot of startup with different accelerators and incubators. So these are the few challenges for especially for immigrant entrepreneurs or any new entrepreneur. The first that I have mentioned, that is navigating the regulatory and legal system, because it's a little bit complicated and a little bureaucratic as well, because to get to know the right licensing requirement, to how to get the right license, which office you have to go, where you have to incorporate your business. These are the basic requirements that you face challenges. Credit and financial services. For any immigrant entrepreneur, this is the first problem. We have seen that for the SUPP clients, that we are not able to open the bank accounts. And definitely credit is another thing. Borrowing money is very difficult for any immigrant entrepreneur. Then access to funding. Again, for access to any funding, either is angel investor or venture capital or government funding or grants, it's difficult to access to that. Then again, because you are a newcomer, you don't know any people, you don't have any social capital, so it's difficult to get into the right, not only get into the right community, and also the building network and connections. Then again, even though Canada is very close to US, but Canada has its own landscape, business landscape or startup landscape. So the market understanding is very difficult. And with CSA, we will be able to provide you market intelligence, and just like Hamad shared of great numbers. It's just few slides, but definitely there is a lot of background work and research behind that. So the market understanding is very important. And again, it's another thing is work-life balance. So you are coming to a new country, or just left your job and you are building a startup. It's very difficult to get the support. And I say that, just like for raising a child, we need a village, we need a lot of a proper support system. Just like that, for any startup to get succeed and be successful, we need community to support that startup. We need a complete resource, support system for them. And with CSA, you will be able to get that. Then culture and language barriers. So most of the people who are here, the immigrants, English is not their first language. So, and at the same time, expectations are different with South Asians, or even not South Asians. If you're any part of the world, you are coming here, so your expectation or your culture, it's different. So there are culture barriers. The expectations are different. How to do the cold calling, how to get into the meetings. Soft skills are very important, and we would be able to help you that as well. And again, recruitment and talent acquisition. So for any startups, initially you need to have, definitely you have limited resources. So you have to be very mindful that who you are hiring, and definitely, who are you bringing in your team. So you need to have the right talent. And at the same time, HR policies and, the HR regulatory system is also very complicated, and you need support. And at the same time, a lot of a startup face challenges in that also. So we help in addressing all these challenges by offering a complete support system, peer-to-peer learning, networking, and by complete hand-holding to adapt and succeed in Canadian business landscape. I would also like to share some startups, the success stories of immigrant-led startups in Canada. Most of them came to Canada through startup visa program. So one is Element AI. They are based in Montreal. They were founded by Yoshua Bengio, and he's a leading AI researcher, and it was acquired by ServiceNow in 2020. Waterpad is based in Toronto, is co-founded by Alan Liu, and he's an immigrant from Hong Kong, and it was acquired by Naver for over $600 million. Flyboard was founded by Martin, who migrated from Iran, and the company was just valued $2 billion. And they are called, the best tech startups on the planet Earth. Then Claire Blanc is also now called Crereco. Crereco has rapidly grown to become one of the Canada's tech unicorn, raising over $300 million in funding. And there are so many other examples also. So it's just that if you have the right support and right resources, so you will be able to succeed just like these startups. And as you all know, that startup visa program was started only in 2018. So like in 6 to 7 years time, they all have been gone through, from nowhere to, be so much successful. And there are some important stats that immigrant entrepreneurs are creating approximately 25% of new businesses in Canada. And most of them are in cutting edge and the most demanded sector, just like AI, fintech. And these startups have collectively raised billions of dollars in venture capital funding and angel funding, and also created thousands of jobs across Canada. So I would say that if they can do that, why not you? Yeah, over to Mark.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tamina. And obviously, you ended this your conversation with a very powerful sentence. If they can do it, why can't you? If I could do it, why can't you? If Tamina could do it, why can't you? So, okay. So that's the ecosystem. That's the ecosystem we need to really appreciate and be part of. Now, with all the I would call it like depressing news, Tamina, by the way, whatever I shared earlier. But I think that's you need to know, because you are going to make informed decision based on the information that you have. which means, and this is exactly where we are going to now. So AI, sustainability, energy transition, especially EVs, electrical vehicle infrastructure, or I say anything that would have a disruptive impact. This is one thing that I picked up from Bain and Company, their research. This these kind of startups are going to attract a lot of eyeballs. And if you are a startup founder who is well connected, who like people know you, and you have kind of, as I always say, build your personal brand and actually telling your story, things will be very different. Um, Other opportunity corridors, of course, with the cross section of AI and machine learning, are fintech, agri-tech, health tech, biotech, and clean tech. And this is not our data. We actually spoke to several experts in the field. We spoke to most recently, Tamina. I went for this investors conference in Toronto. We spoke to people there, the experts there. I spoke to another major disruptor, uh, Machine Labs, and I spoke to them. And these are the five key areas. So if you are building a startup, or you have a startup which is on the cross section of any of these, the opportunity corridors will open up much more easily. Now look at what Canadian CEOs are saying. We are looking at the Canadian ecosystem now with the particular emphasis on what is happening in the Canadian market. Single most pressing concern for Canadian CEOs. This is one thing, KPMG 2023 CEO Outlook report, emerging and disruptive technologies at the top. Then, of course, geopolitics, political uncertainty, and other issues. Cybersecurity is one of the issues. Interest rate is an issue, and then the reputational risk. But if you look at this matrix, early part of my presentation is all about high interest rate borrowing. Cost of borrowing is very high. That's why people are not really interested. But Canadian CEOs have put interest rate at the second from the bottom. Just think about it. Which means if there is a viable, interesting project, rates don't matter, right? Your debt doesn't matter. If you have the capacity, if the project is so interesting that the projections are good, then you buy, you even take expensive money as well, and make it work for you. But emerging and disruptive technology, where most of the things happening and most of the things are still unseen, still unfolded, that's where the biggest challenges, and that's where the biggest opportunities are as well. This is again from the same report, and this is how they have scored. Advancing digitization and connectivity across business is one of the biggest priority for Canadian businesses. So just focus this. Um, then the employee value proposition and attracting and retaining top talent is also very, very important at number 2. Number 3, improving customer experience. So if you are in a space and you can actually create something which actually improves the customer experience, then things will be very different. Um, Inflation proofing and capital input costs, of course, is a priority, and something that can be figured out, worked out, based on some matrices and the numbers. Then, of course, execution of environmental sustainability and governance is really at the top priority. And Canada, being the big advocate for environmental sustainability, execution of ESG initiative is one of the uh, operational priority for growth for the Canadian businesses. The CEOs agree that these factors will negatively impact organizational prosperity over the next 3 years. Again, it's coming from the same report. Talent, cost of living, natural disaster, extreme weather events, if it happens, misinformation, very important. And this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to help you get that information which is available out there, but often we do not get access to that information. Trade regulations, cybersecurity, insecurity, and disruptive technology. Next 3 years, this is going to be the name of the game. If you're part of the game, then of course, you will know how you can create your opportunities. At CSA Connect, we invited some amazing speakers, experts. Robert Douglas, who is the founder for the um, for
Rose View
the
Global.
Roseview Global. Thank you very much, Roseview Global. We had Vicky Sanders, who is from Carlos, the lady who works with women in 5 countries, women entrepreneurs. Kate Tuman, who is the vice president for Ontario. Um,
In Ontario Network.
say again, I always forget. So venture capitalist
Ontario
network.
Angels Network, yeah.
Angels
Ontario
Network.
Angels. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And Kamal Ahmad, a local, a newcomer entrepreneur. And we spoke to them and we picked their brains as to what they are thinking uh, uh, about what's happening now and what is the future going to be like for the startup. So what we are sharing now is, as I said, is fresh from the oven. Exactly 1 month ago from today, we spoke to them in the conference. The first time we are actually uh, kind of sharing this information, these recommendations or the words that they shared with us. So this is what they said. Undercapitalized startups will not survive. Technology and customer experience are two keywords to focus at. Um, Team and how founders treat and harness teams will make it or break it for their businesses. From Canadian perspective, a skill class and startup founders migrating from different countries will continue playing a significant role, and Tamina already shared some information with you on that. Recession's higher interest rate will continue biting. So, which means that you have to be, um, um, at a low, at you have to be very careful in what kind of money you're borrowing. As investors, net worth is going down, less capital in the ecosystem will continue for the time being. Very important. So you have to be in a position where you are actually presenting your case in a more interesting storytelling format. What used to be a founder's market is now an investor's market. My typo, excuse for that, is now an investor's market.
Investors.
Investors are choosing where to invest. They used to be kind of pumping money into all sorts of things. This came also from the event. Um, Further, focus on community as a service, which will help a business grow again. Very important point, often overlooked. Unless you're adaptable to Canadian market dynamics, your business plan may not work. Certain challenges are unique to Canada, and Tamin already spoke about those challenges, and that's where Canada Startup Association comes and plays its role. There are always money for solid businesses. Good founders are still pretty successful in raising money, and this is what we also have seen in the past 1 year. The real challenge for VC will happen in the next couple of years when they are out in the market to raise their next rounds. Very important point to think. So if you are a totally VC dependent startup, you'll have to start working on your next round actually right from yesterday. E-commerce market is tanking due to algorithm changes, and a lot of e-commerce market, as you all know, and last mile as well, depend on social media marketing. A lot of emphasis on social media marketing there, and because of algorithm changes, overall e-commerce market is really suffering badly. Funding for women entrepreneurs is only 2% globally. Raising fund as a woman entrepreneur is becoming harder. So if you're a woman entrepreneur and purely working in that space, you need to really figure out how do you raise funds, maybe convert it into more impact enterprise. Again, it's an opportunity, I would say there as well. Collaboration will help business thrive. Future is all about community. I wrote somewhere, some of you who follow me, I write every day. I'm a crazy writer. I write something interesting as well, which I really love. I wrote a sentence somewhere saying, alone is too lonely. Collaboration is the key to success. There is no competition out there. Competition, the word competition is a word of past, as cold calling is a word of past. Collaboration is the key to success. Collaborate, build communities, network, and and thrive in business. Own your mistakes, fix and move on. Fix them and move on. Again, I'm a messy content writer here as well. So thank you very much. This is what we had for you for today. There are some questions which we will come back to those questions. And what we are going to do is we, as a networking organization, we are going to um, create some networking rooms for you. Please join in the rooms. Uh, Introduce yourself, meet new friends, and when you come back, we will actually want to see more cameras on. We want you to see who is with us today, and try to learn from them. What are some of the challenges they are facing, and what are some of the things that they have achieved in the past 1 year, what they're planning to do in the next year, and then we'll have Q&A. So what I see, this session is probably overrunning by another 10 minutes. So we will give you like a speed dating strategy. We are going to give you only 6 minutes per room, per breakout room to network and connect with. Tamina, you're saying something? No. Okay, so we are going to break you into 8 rooms so that you are approximately 4 to 5 people in a room. And believe me, this is probably the greatest opportunity for us to network and know more people from various backgrounds, various industry experiences. And when we come back, I'm sure you will be more enthusiastic. So I'm just creating a room. Please join in your respective rooms, approximately 5 people per room, and we'll see you in about 6 minutes. So I see a few people who have not joined the rooms. Please take this opportunity. Anam, Iram, Faisal, Paula, Jamal, uh, Nagmi, Preeti, Saleha, Shabazz, Roshana. If you please join your respective rooms and try to network with people in that room. Are you facing any problem? If you raise your hand, I can unmute you. All right. If you're choosing not to join any room, that's okay. But if you join in, it will be a good experience.
Took some back because we were not able to chat. Are you able to listen to me now?
Yes, I can.
But they were not able to, we three of us were not able to, listen to each other, but hear each other or something. There was some technology problem. So anyhow,
I'm just allowing to unmute everyone and let's see what happens.
yeah.
Let me just join one of the rooms and see what's up. I went to room number 2 and it was all good. They were able to talk to each other.
See on here.
Tamina, your voice got distorted again. I don't know. I mean, when I went to the room, it was all fine. I think some of the rooms are still going okay. Maybe, maybe it is something with your, I don't know, microphone because I can't, your voice is distorted. Like I can't hear you at all now. You should log on from your, so speak from your cell phone. So the rooms will close in about 9 seconds, and we will have everyone back, and let's see how things are happening. So, yep. All right. So awesome. Thank you very much. I hope you all had some interesting experience of the session, and you had met few interesting new friends, connections, and this was the the um, the focus for this little exercise. And let me just quickly see. Okay. Well, now this is pretty common when we break out for rooms. Some people drop out, and they are the people who are probably the biggest losers because then you can't really meet a new person, right? We have some questions as well in the chat, and now let us just quickly go through these questions and try to answer these questions. And after that, we will be able to um, take your question. You will be able to turn on your microphone and ask. So just to be on the safe side and be a little disciplined, if you raise your hand and then unmute yourself when your name is called, that would be better. Tamina, can you speak?
I have been trying to do that. Can you
Yes,
hear
this
me
is
now?
good. Oh, yes, this is
Okay.
perfect. So this means there's something wrong with your
Yeah,
microphone.
my laptop. Something
Yes.
happened. I will check
Okay.
it out.
Good. So now we have uh, some people dropped out, which I was just saying that they're going to miss the last session, which is the real crux of I think of the session. And I always try to resonate it with when you go to Turkey, they serve you kebabs on a chapati, on a flat bread. You eat the kebab, but the real taste is in the chapati. So the chapati is coming coming now. The roti, the bread is coming now. So there are a few questions, Tamina, here in the chat. I will I'll read these questions out to you, and we'll try to respond to as many as possible. Nakmi Shad is asking how can startups positioning themselves to be competitive in the global market, and what are the key factors attracting foreign investors to the Canadian startup scene?
So the first thing is that, we have been sharing in these slides, it has to be disruptive. So whatever, this, things are changing now. So whatever is startup, even if you are having a startup in Canada, but you have to think globally, that whatever the problem you are trying to solve, it's not only with the with having Canadian like landscape in scene, but overall what globally other peoples are doing. And to have, I think it's very important to see and have a proper understanding of what your other competitors are doing, because to be very honest, in this now, no idea is new. So whatever you are trying to build, someone else is also doing. So what you need to do is to create a better version of it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but definitely you have to come up a better solution, and you need to be very focused what are you are building. And what I always say to all my startups, that first you need to see whosoever is willing to pay for your service or the product that you are building. Not only that you are only, so focus group discussions, and going to your clients, having the product market fit. These are the basic things that you need to start from. And then you can definitely you can find the right investors also who are willing to invest in your business.
And interestingly, Tamina, as you always say, that when you are in Canada and starting like you're or moving your startup to Canada, one of the big things that you're getting, you're becoming a Canadian company, which itself is quite a powerful thing to have. The and that actually is one of the things that makes you a little bit more competitive in terms of expanding your business and maybe reducing
Yeah.
your cost of doing business, and of course the talent which is available. As I said, a lot of layoffs, which means that you can actually hire talent quite cheap, the quality talent. One of my clients, my personal client from India, he's into blockchain, and he came here. He laid off. Now he is actually going on a job which is paying him less than what he was getting earlier, which means that this is a benefit that you can avail as well. And of course, with the ecosystem and the research within the universities is one of the things that you need to consider, and this is what we are aiming at as well, to bring in more and
Yeah.
more.
And just like you said, like with the being a Canadian startup, the the edge, or the the benefit that you have, that you are positioned very uniquely, because the government support that you can have in Canada is has it's amazing. And most
Right.
of the startup even don't try to reach out to the support that they are EDC is there. We Business Development Bank of Canada is here, and there are this is like we know Preeti and many other from cities as well. So everyone is trying to support and create a ecosystem where startups can thrive. So it's all about reaching out, asking the right question, and connecting with the right people.
Right. The other question we have is from Farooq, if he's still with us. So the question is, what is there a possibility of raising fund from Canadian VCs uh, from Pakistan? Some a startup based in Pakistan, can that raise? I mean, it's like raising money from any VC in the world. Canadian VCs are not unique in that way. One thing that I can say, they are smaller as compared to the US VCs. So, and there is enough appetite locally to kind of consider. Maybe it won't be that easy. Um,
Yeah, no, but the Canada Startup Visa. So through
hmm.
Canada Startup Visa, there is a venture capitalist
Yes. Yeah.
stream and angel investor stream. So the only way while being in Pakistan to raise from venture capitalist or angel investor in Canada is only Startup Visa program. Otherwise, Canada is a little bit conservative economy, so they don't want to go outside Canada. They want to support their local startups, but through Startup Visa program they can reach out to any angel investor and any VC and raise funding.
Exactly. Zishan Mahmood is asking, how do we access global network? Is a platform for that purpose? So I think probably if I take it rightly, maybe you're asking how can you access our network at Canada Startup Association? Its network is for the members. So anybody who's becoming our member would have access to our direct network and the indirect network as well. So from Cresto Forum, for instance, you're looking at global, people who have money, right? This is how I put it. People who are willing to invest into interesting startups, as well as through uh, our network of businesses that are out there, and of course with Toronto Region Board of Trade. Um, Kamalji Chaudhary, yeah, thank you very much for your comment. Um, Shamim, yes, slide deck. You can put a gun on my head and take it if you want to. So it will
It
be
will be
available.
it will be uploaded on the platform,
Yeah, yeah. So
and
you
yeah,
can,
so yeah, so
yeah,
everyone join the platform. They will, and it's free. You can just join the platform for free. You will have an access to the
yeah.
complete recording and the
Right. So the platform that we have, if you go on to CanadaStartup.co, you will be able to find the join button, the free. You can sign up for free, and all that information in that space for free. Of course, there is going to be information. There are going to be things for the paid members, which are very different. But things like this are available there. Okay, so Dr. Tasneem, of course, you join in the platform there, and you will be able to access the information. Raphael, thank you very much for joining in. Hope to chat with you soon. Alexa also, thank you very much. Thank you. Roshana has left as well. Um, uh, Heather, if you have a question, I think to share, you can do so. Please go ahead. Shahzeb, uh, Shabazz, any any more spice to what we have discussed, uh, you can raise your hand, and yeah, we'll be happy to hear from you. Anyone? Yes, Prashantji, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask the audience that, coming to an event like this, is there something else that they are looking for from Canada? Because I heard Shamim speak in the breakout room about the Canadian landscape of technology landscape and the economic landscape. So I'm assuming that folks who are joining in from, Middle Eastern part of the world or Asia, perhaps have a certain expectation from a forum like this, and what that could be, and perhaps in the future we could look at some sort of a Q&A enabled conversation, if that helps.
Oh, definitely, Prashantji. Thank you very much. And of course, Sharmeen has been in this part of the world, and she is now establishing her startup. Uh, Things are very different, as we all know. I mean, even the regions are very different in terms of in terms of everything, literally. So you're absolutely right. And as we go along in our future ventures, future webinars, a lot of these things will emerge. And of course, people like you and whoever has experience will be able to contribute to this. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, Rafael, you want to say something? You have turned on your microphone. Rafael Chaudhary? No? Anybody else want to say something, share something, ask anything? Yes, Shameen, please go ahead.
So, thank you so much for arranging this. I wasn't sure if I was coming here, I was going to get the same, conversation that we had last month, but this is excellent. Thank you so much for having it. I think the only thing, and I want to add to what Prashant is saying, is that because I work primarily in the US economy, coming to Canada is obviously new to me. It's a little it's not overwhelming, but it is obviously not risk aversive. It is a little risky, but then uh, entrepreneurs need to be taking smaller risks all the time. I'm pretty excited to be coming into this with the understanding that the Canada Startup Association, and obviously through that the bigger forums like TRBOT would give me a huge network, because one of the things that I've learned very late, but in the last 5 years, is that network is everything. I think it's 100% everything, and it helps you grow and flourish. So that's number one. And then I also hope from this forum that the kind of services or the kind of company that we are a technology company. I expect to see mentors through this forum who have been in that ecosystem for a while, and who can help me to enter and also to grow. That is something that is I am 100% relying on through this community. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
No, thank you. And first of all, you know, uh, knowing you and having dinner with you, I can understand, that you look at things from a very minutely, very closely, and which is a good thing, which really can bring in a lot of opportunities for us. So someone like you would also come. This is a community. So not only that all these experts come in and speak, we expect our members, every member to contribute. No membership organization can grow without contributions from the members. It's not only that little money that we put in for the organizational development or growth. It's the community that grows, and community grows when you start conversations. And this is the forum that we have created, like with this little forum today and future forums also. are the forums where we come and we speak to each other. So thank you very much, Shamim. And it's just a start, as I say, we have just started crawling. So, Tamina, you want to add something to it? And then we'll go to Zishan Masood.
Yeah, I just second you that, definitely not only we will have mentors and industry expert to help, a seasoned entrepreneur like Shamim, but at the same time, we will be, uh, you know, blessed to, to have Shamim on our platform to, to share her knowledge and expertise to the startups who are just coming, even though they are in Canadian landscape, but it's still that, the initial challenges are almost same for any startup. So Shamim would be, again on our mentor panel, and she would be happy to help. And definitely she would be sharing her expertise with our startups and other members as well. And definitely, Shamim, we have some good mentors already lined up for you. Even whenever you are here, they would be happy to chat with you and guide you for your next step.
Awesome. Yes. Who was there? There was a
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thanks, Ahmad.
Zishan,
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
everyone. Yes, I would just reiterate what Shamim just said, that networking is everything. We are growing. I also got a chance to meet and have a chat with Shamim and Prashant in the breakout session. And I would just like to say that I would like to continue networking through this channel. I have been utilizing other channels as well. We are just still growing. We are relatively new, but we are based in Canada. My only question right now is it possible that I can get contact information from the members that I met with, Shamim and Prashant, so I can continue to explore more about the opportunities. And definitely, I will look into becoming the member of Canada Startup Association. I will just like to learn more about you guys online. And yeah, is it possible that I can get the contact information from Shamim, Prashant?
Yeah, sure. You share your LinkedIn profile in the chat
Here's
and
my, here's
take
my,
your.
here's my LinkedIn profile. Me and Prashant are already connected. We already did that. I
Oh,
couldn't
really?
find, so here it is.
I will
Yeah,
share
yeah,
my
do
right
that.
away. Thank you.
All right.
Someone also asked me, sorry, someone also asked me in the breakout room that is there any formality to connect with other members? So, this is the forum is open for you all to network and connect with each other. So there is no fee for that. We are, so we are providing you a platform to connect and, learn from each other, share your expertise. And this is what CSA is about. It's that, we are, creating a community for all of you. So just, feel free to connect with anyone and everyone.
And moreover, futuristically, the way we are looking at Tamina, and I've built so many like business associations across the globe. The concept that we have brought in is the concept that is missing globally. All these associations, chambers, they're very kind of inward looking. They're very isolated. What we are doing, we are an outward looking organization, which means that we are going to create this global ecosystem eventually. Again, a tall thing, a tall commitment to ourselves is that we really want to build this like a holistic ecosystem. In the current global village, it's like a global village. We cannot work in isolation. You can be part of one incubator or one accelerator or one association, but everything impacts you. So this is what we are trying to do. And not the word trying is incorrect. We have actually created it. Now, Dr. Tasneem Kausar, please, your question.
Yes, thank you so much. It's my first time to connected with you people. As I told, I'm president here I'm from Pakistan, in Karachi. I'm president Women Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm working with so many women entrepreneurs in Karachi or Pakistan, and connected along with other chambers as well. There are 22 women chambers are working in Pakistan, but believe me, when I saw and when I worked with them, nobody is properly guiding them, nobody is properly mentoring them. They are doing things on her own, matlab like nobody, no proper guidance. How to they collaborate or proper national on national level or international level. So that's why I just have a request. If I can gather some women entrepreneur group, can you people do a Zoom session with them?
What will be the objective? I mean, we can, provided we have time, but what will be the objective of that session? We can talk later on this, Dr. Naseem, if you don't mind,
Yeah, sure.
because it's a very different subject. Women Chamber of Commerce in Pakistan is my baby. Actually, if you go and talk to some of the seniors, they will tell you that the legislation which was signed in Pakistan by Pervez Musharraf, I actually contributed in drafting of that legislation for women entrepreneurs. In
Uh,
And
2000,
one more,
I can give you a date as well. 31st December 2006 was the date when it was signed. Before that, there was no women chamber, no
yeah,
official
but
formal women chamber in Pakistan. Anyways, that's a subject that we can
yeah,
discuss later on.
yeah.
Okay. Anyone else would like to say something here or
Hamad,
contribute?
I just want to tell Dr. Tasneem that she can connect with Shamim and Anam Kamran. She's also on the
Yes.
call,
Yes.
and both are based in Karachi and they are doing amazing work. So she could connect with, I don't know whether they are connected or not, but she should connect with Anam and Shamim both.
Sure. So if there are no more questions or suggestions, we are already 21 minutes over in the session. I don't mind because, I can take more question or more suggestions. But if there's no more suggestion or questions, then we can probably wrap up the session. Tamina, over to you. Anybody who wants to become members, you can go onto our website. I've shared the website here. You can simply log in, and if you want to become a paid member, of course, you will have more benefits, but you can start probably with our free membership. It's up to you really. If you want to really be out there and be seen, and you want to connect with the network that we have, then of course the paid membership would be the right way to go. 2024, Tamina, what are we going to do in 2024? If you want to share some things with the audience.
So 2024, and we have huge plans. Honestly, I don't want to share it now, but but I just want to share one thing here about the free membership and the paid membership, because this is a question a lot of people ask us. So one thing that I would like to share: we are a not-for-profit organization, and being an entrepreneur myself, I don't want our organization to be relying on grants and government funding. We want it to be we want it, even though it's a not-for-profit, but we are working it, developing it on social enterprise model, because this is very important. We want to be self-sustainable, and that's why hence the membership. Other than that, because there are a lot of generalized resources that are available on our platform that is for everyone can join us for free. They can connect with each other. But if you would like to grow and succeed in Canadian startup ecosystem and has to have a global network, then definitely we would like you to join us as a paid member, because that we will be, we will have tailored resources as per your challenges and needs, and where you actually need hand holding and support. So just like I shared earlier, we are trying to create a support system. And again, not only networking with the other members, we will have an opportunity to get insights, peer-to-peer learning, and not only our events, you will have access to many other events where we are members. We are, means Canada Startup Association is a paid member, just like Toronto Region Board and many other organizations. And we are also partnering and collaborating with many other organizations. And we will be sharing our resources with their resources. So our paid member would have access to those resources, not only what we are curating, but many other organizations who have already curated, and it would be helpful for them. So this is very important to need to know why we are offering this paid membership. And also, again, you are free to network with any of our member, and at the same time, you can join a platform for free. And me and Hamad both, we try to be as responsive as a human being can in 24 hours. Just because you can see that the session was planned for 1 hour, but we are here 1 hour 30 minutes. That's all I have to say, and I will not be sharing anything. I will keep it a surprise for 2024. Yeah.
Right. So 2024 is going to bring a lot of interesting opportunities for all of us. A lot of learning, a lot of networking, a lot of in-person, hybrid, and virtual events uh, through the startup associations, and a lot of information which will be coming your way. So consider becoming paid member, because obviously, as a paid member, as Tamina said, you will have access to more resources and access to our network. So with that, thank you very much, Tamina, for your time, and thank you everyone for being here in the session. Recording of this session will be shared on the platform. So those who have already signed up, you will get the recording, and of course, the PowerPoint presentation will also be shared there. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are. Hope to see you in January, and a very, very happy New Year in advance to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Tamina, will you stay there,
so much.
Tamina?
Thanks,
Will you stay
everybody.
Okay.
for a minute? Yeah. And team Insta, or
Thank
if
you.
Preeti, and thank you very much, Saleha, would stay, please.
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm here too.
Yes. So just wait a while so that everybody leaves, then we'll have a quick session. Stop recording.